Hello students, how are you? I expect you will be well. Now I am going to teach you from page number 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 page number. History book, class 10 and page number 10 to 14. From this page I am going to start. This is the NCERT book of class 10 history subject, and from this page I am going to start. From this page, from here I am going to start. Napoleon's administrative measures had created out of countless small principalities a confederation of 39 states. Each of these possessed its own currency and weights and measures. A merchant travelling in 1833 from Hamburg to Nuremberg to sell his goods would have had to pass through 11 customs barriers and pay a customs duty of about 5% at each one of them. Duties were often levied according to the weight of measurement of the goods, as each region had its own system of weight and measures. This involved time-consuming calculation. The measures of cloth, for example, was the ely, which in each region stood for a different length. An ely of textile material bought in Frankfurt would get you 54.7 cm of cloth, in Mainz 55.1 cm, in Nuremberg 65.6 cm, in Freiburg 53.5 cm. Actually, Napoleon Bonaparte had taken a particular type of strategy for German speaking regions. I am going to tell you that in German speaking region, Napoleon's administration had created a confederation of 39 states. Before creating this confederation of 39 states, the German speaking region was distributed in different states, and each and every state there were different language, and their currency were different, and their unit of measurement were also different. That's why the merchants or traders felt too much difficulty in doing business or trade from one state to another state. Such as, for example, from Hamburg to Nuremberg, if a trader had to visit from Hamburg to Nuremberg for sell their consumer goods, he had to pass through 11 custom barriers, and in each and every and each and every state he had to pay 5% tax. In each and every custom barrier he had to pay 5% tax. That's why, to remove the difficulty of this unit of measurement, Napoleon Bonaparte implemented an universal unit of measurement for all 39 states, which were converted into a confederation by Napoleon's administration. Here the example of cloth, for the measurement of cloth, has been given, and through this example it has been stated that in different states of German speaking region, the unit of measurement or the measurement of length was different. Such conditions were viewed as obstacles to economic exchange and growth by the new commercial classes, who are good for the creation of a unified economic territory, allowing the unhindered movement of goods. Actually, Napoleon's administration created the Confederation of 39 states. The Confederation of 39 states for removing the difficulties of trade and business. That's why single currency system was implemented in Germany. Single unit of measurement was implemented in Germany. Single unit of measurement was implemented in Germany. So that the merchant or trader could not feel any difficulty in doing trade or business from one state to another state. That was the motto, that was the purpose of Napoleon Bonaparte, to remove the difficulties of trade or business. That's why a confederation of 39 states was created in German-speaking region. Such conditions were viewed as obstacle to economic exchange and growth by the new commercial classes, who are good for the creation of a unified economic territory, allowing the unhindered movement of goods, people and capital. When Napoleon Bonaparte, or in Napoleon administration, single unit of measurement, single currency and single language was implemented, single language were implemented, then it removed the difficulties for trade and business, and it had done business or trade very easier for trader and merchant, and it also did easier the movement of goods, people and capital also. In 1834, a custom union of Zollverein was formed at the initiative of Prussia and joined by most of the German states. The union abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies from over 30 to 2. The creation of a network of railway further stimulated mobility, harnessing economic interest to national unification. A wave of economic nationalism strengthened the wider nationalist sentiment growing at the time. Actually, when the Confederation of 39 states was created, it was very helpful in bringing the nationalization, because the first of all, in 1834 a custom union was formed. And what was the function or what was the work of custom union? The custom union was also called Zollverein. So what was the purpose to form custom union? The purpose or the function was the custom union to abolish tariff barriers. To abolish tariff barriers. Tariff means a type of tax, and reduce the number of currencies from over 30 to 2. That time 30 different types of currency were in practice. 30 different types of currency were in practice. That was creating too much difficulty for traders or businessmen or merchant. So that 30 type of currencies were converted into only 2 types of currency. And the creation of railway network further stimulated mobility. When the railway network was developed in German states, then it was helpful to develop the idea of nationalism or the consciousness of nationalism, because railway network join one people to another people. Railway network is helpful to join one people to another people, and railway network is helpful to develop the nationalization. A wave of economic nationalism strengthened the wider nationalist sentiment growing at the time. And the economic nationalism was also very helpful to develop the idea of nationalism, to develop the consciousness of nationalism. And in German states, nationalist sentiments was growing at the time. A new conservation after 1815. Look here this point. A new conservation after 1815. Following the defeat of Napoleon in 1815, European governments were driven by a spirit of conservation. European governments were driven by a spirit of conservatism. Conservatism means, look here the meaning of conservatism. This is the meaning of conservatism. Look here. Conservatism means a political philosophy that stresses the importance of tradition, established institutions and customs, and preferred gradual development to quick change. Actually, conservatism is a political philosophy that stresses the importance of tradition, and established institutions and customs and preferred gradual development to quick change. So, in 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo. European governments were driven by a spirit of conservatism. Conservatives believed that established traditional institutions of a state and society, like the monarchy, the church, social hierarchies, property, and the family, should be preserved. Actually, conservative people where the conservative people trusted in monarchy system. Conservative people supported monarchy system, and they trusted in old custom, in old tradition, and in old culture. Those people are called conservative, who support monarchy system and who trust in old custom, old tradition, and old culture. And they don't want any change in the society, or they don't want any political change, social change. Such type of people are called conservative people, and such type of idea is called conservatism. So, conservative believe in monarchy system and in church, and they also maintain social hierarchy. Social hierarchy means social ranking, means upper society people, lower society people, like that. And property, they want to keep private property, and they also want to keep family. They also believe in family system. Most conservatives, however, did not propose a return to the society of pre-revolutionary days. Rather, they released from the changes initiated by Napoleon that modernization could in fact extend traditional institutions like the monarchy. It could make a state power more effective and strong, a modern army and efficient bureaucracy, a dynamic economy, the abolition of feudalism and serfdom could strengthen the autocratic monarchies of Europe. Actually, Napoleon Bonaparte destroyed democracy, and he was the emperor of France. So he established monarchy system or constitutional monarchy system in each and every state which had been conquered by him. But Napoleon civil code or Napoleonic code was very effective, because Napoleon's administration provided efficient bureaucracy, a dynamic economy, the abolition of feudalism. Feudalism means a system of feudals who are the owner of lands. Feudals means landlord, landowners who were the owner of land on large scale, and they provided their land to poor peasants or landless peasants for agriculture purpose, and they collected taxes from the poor peasants and landless peasants. That system was called feudal system. So Napoleon Bonaparte abolished feudal system. So efficient bureaucracy, a dynamic economy, the abolition of feudalism, and serfdom could strengthen the autocratic monarchy of Europe. That's why Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated, but even then, the strategy of Napoleon Bonaparte and the policy of Napoleon Bonaparte were not removed in any states. They were supported by the monarch or they were supported by the people. In 1815, representatives of the European powers, Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria, who had collectively defeated Napoleon, met of Vienna to draw up a settlement for Europe. The Congress was hosted by the Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. The delegates draw up the Treaty of Vienna of 1815 with the objects of undoing most of the changes that had come about in Europe during the Napoleonic Wars. Now I am going to describe about Treaty of Vienna. What was Treaty of Vienna? This is the very important question which comes in the exam. Students, in 1815, when Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo by Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria. Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria collectively defeated to Napoleon Bonaparte, or collectively defeated to France. And after that, they had done Treaty of Vienna.